What is good? What is good, everybody? It's your man, Ken Jackson, going out for a little walk today since the rain finally stopped and it's nice and cool. It's the best time to walk, you know what I mean? Got to get that exercise in. A lot of y'all out there be fronting on getting it in. Act like you don't have time, or you talking the dumb shit about, whatever excuse, but you can always make time to stay healthy, even when you're not retired, you know? You don't have to go to the gym all the time or lift weights and all that bullshit. I mean, it's not bullshit, but you don't have to make the excuse that, well, I can't get to the gym. No, just go take a walk. You know what I'm saying? Take a freaking simple walk. I'm going to walk around the complex here a little bit because I haven't done that in a while because it has been so damn hot, you know? And there's certain reasons I guess you cannot get out, but hey, you know, like today it's cool because it rained. The rain has stopped. So now I can get out and stretch my bones, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, how's everybody out there? All my over 60 people, 60 and over, out there wondering what to do with their lives now that they're senior citizens. Well, I guess we've been officially senior citizens since we were 50. But once you hit 60, I guess we're in a whole nother level of seniorship, I guess you could say, if that makes any damn sense. Now me, okay, I got certain limiting physical conditions that prevent me from doing a lot. You know, I got a bad ticker, unfortunately, and it's not gonna get any better. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from living, you know what I mean? Just because you turn 60 and you think you don't have much to do, let me be the first to tell you that's a bunch of bullshit. There is plenty to do. Plenty. I've switched my format because I don't want to be on here stressing out about politics and religion and all of that dumb shit. It's not to say I'm not going to speak about it anymore. I am going to speak about it sometimes. But I'm not making that the main focus of my platform anymore. It's more about enjoying life and being out here, you know, and realizing that life don't end because you get older. I got a couple of friends of mine that are like severely depressed because they feel like they don't have no purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of purpose. You just have to figure out what it is for you. You got to figure out what you like to do. Do what you like to do. Especially now, you know, we're older, we're not, you know, well, I mean, not all of us are retired. I guess I'm fortunate to be a part of the retirement community, you know, and to be able to, you know, to live fairly well, you know. It's definitely a big difference, you know, when you don't generate, you know, big numbers, you know, like you used, if you're used to generating big numbers. But you just make adjustments. You don't have to stop living, you know. You make adjustments. You adjust your lifestyle. And you learn new things. You learn new tricks. You figure out things you can do uh, to make life more enjoyable that don't require cash. There's so many things you can do that don't require a bunch of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how society got it fucked up to, trick us into thinking that we had to have a lot of money to have fun, to enjoy life. You don't. And then again, it depends on what you like to do, but we as people, we overcomplicate our lives. We definitely overcomplicate our lives with the bullshit. And that's why we all usually a lot of us end up depressed as shit, feeling lost out here in this world, acting like there's no way to move forward. And let me tell you, that it's all a lie. You don't have to fall for the trap. You don't have to fall for the trap at all, I really enjoy living life on my own terms. Of course, I've always lived life on my own terms. I spent my entire adult life self-employed after I got out of the military, A lot of people pursue careers, certain industries, where and they get tied down by the clock. Trust me, business ownership and self-employment is not for everybody. I get it, But don't think that it was easier because, we were the ones in charge of certain businesses or whatever. Shit, hell, a lot of times the business owner has to work harder than the people that he or she employs. And, we have we have just as many, if not more, responsibilities than the average worker, If you're just an employee, you clock in, and good morning or afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon. How are y'all today?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We have, hey, what's up, boss? But, as business owners, we have a lot more responsibilities because it's up to us to manage the business and keep it moving forward, keep it growing, so that your employees will have a job, So I used to laugh all the time at people saying, Ken, you need to get a real job. I'm like, really? Why? In fact, what's a real job? I never understood what a real job is. You either own a business, working for yourself, or you're an employee working for somebody else. A job is a job. You know what I mean? So that get a real job comment, always, confused me. So don't tell me to get a real job because you're afraid, to get out there and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? I live very well, live better than most people with so-called real jobs. You know what I mean? So, but I would always laugh at those folks. I would laugh because I'm thinking, wait, you think I don't work? Because I own my own business. Hell, I'm usually the first one up and the last one to bed at night. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people didn't understand that. And then, because I was accumulating nice stuff, or living, and not really, letting other people in my business, they were thinking, oh, Ken ain't doing nothing, Ken must be broke and this. I ain't never been broke. Even when I tell motherfuckers I'm broke, I ain't never been broke. I just don't flaunt. I never have. You know, I've always invested quietly. You know, I don't share all my shit. There's so many people out here that share all their shit online and want to stunt and flaunt, and I've never needed to do that. That's never been my thing. You know, I just live my life. I mind my business. You know, and I just keep it pushing, and that's it. Let me take me a break right here, and because I am out of breath. You know, it's tough to with this condition that I have. You know, it's tough to you know, really, you know, put forth a lot of physical effort. Unfortunately, my body lets me know every day, Ken, you are not a youngster anymore. And but I'm okay with that. You know, I'm very, very okay with that. You know, like I said, life has been awesome. I'm just happy to be here. Uh, you'll never catch me moping or all frowned up or you know, feeling bad about myself or feeling sorry for myself, because there's nothing to feel sorry for, you know? And that's not to say that it's because I live such a baller lifestyle, because I don't. I never have, you know? Even when I was balling, I didn't live that baller lifestyle, you know? I've never been into designer clothing, you know, and luxury this and luxury that. You know, I've always had exactly what I wanted, you know, always had what I needed, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I've never had a desire, you know, to stunt for anybody, you know. I never ever in my life felt like I had to impress anybody, you know. So the people that really know me, you know, they're like, yo, you know, Ken's doing all right, you know, Ken lives good, you know. People who don't know me at all have no clue. And I'm all right with that too, because it ain't for everybody to know how I'm living. That's why I don't put my shit out on the internet like that, you know. I don't share, you know, the fact that I'm able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, you know. It's all good. And but most importantly, I don't let anybody pressure me into doing shit. Because you got people that'll try to trick you and pressure you into doing shit that you don't want to do, that you have no business doing. And it's all good, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. But guess what? I don't need to impress anybody at all. I don't care about impressing anybody, and you can't make me try to impress anybody, you know? It's just the way it is. I don't give in to peer pressure or none of that shit, you know? So it's just a fact of my life, you know? And hey, for whoever don't like it, they can kiss my natural black ass. You know what I mean? And I wish a lot of you out there had that attitude. Don't let anybody push you into doing shit that you don't want to do. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Don't let it go down like that. You know, people want to get all in your business and be all up in your life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people will let themselves, you know, get pushed into doing shit they don't want to do, or acting a certain way, or getting out of character. Let's see if this is gonna work today. My hatch. I got to get my the pistons replaced because my hatch won't stay up. That's annoying, but it's okay. Just got a replacement because my other vehicle got fucked up, and I actually found the exact same model as what I had because I liked my little kid, and I like this one, and I'm not going to change my ways or change my appearances just to suit somebody else's, you know, bullshit about, what they think, or how they think, I should be or whatever. Life is good, man. Life is real good, and you just have to learn how to appreciate it and stop letting people uh, cause you to do things that you don't need to be doing. Plain and simple. Um, you can live a rich life without flaunting, without stunting. It doesn't require owning mansions and yachts and shit like that. You know, to me, those are liabilities. They're not assets, unless you're uh, leasing them out, to earn revenue from. It's just like a home. You purchase a home, but a home that you're living in is a liability. It's not an asset, contrary to popular belief. So don't believe the bullshit that they try to tell you that home ownership in America is a must. Real estate ownership, that's different. Buy you some real estate. Rent that shit out. Lease it out. Make money off of it. You know what I mean? Whatever home you live in, rent that shit. In fact, let me put you up on game. So I learned this long, long time ago when I was first getting into the music industry, and I used to always wonder, why my celebrity clients never lived in the properties that they owned. That's because if they lived in it, it became a liability. And there are several celebrities that I've done work for over the years, and I'm like, why the fuck you paying $9,000 a month in rent? 10, 15,000 a month in rent for this house, this mansion, and they personally weren't renting the property. Their business was renting or leasing the property, and that turned into a write-off against the business or for the business. Everything that they lived in, they rented. All the real estate that they owned was rented out, generating income for them. You know what I mean? And not under an LLC. Let me tell you, LLCs are getting a lot of people in trouble too. Because they're easy, I guess. People like to take the easy way. I incorporated full C Corp years ago, and I've been living my life under my own corporate umbrella for over 30 years now. All of the tangible assets that I own or that I don't own, they're owned by my corporation. Okay? When I just moved into this new apartment recently, and people are like, well, Ken, why are you going to pay rent in an apartment? That's a waste of money. No, it's not, because I'm not renting the apartment. Crazy Baby TV World rents the apartment. It's that simple. It's a corporate asset. Yeah, I live in it personally, but Crazy Baby TV pays the rent. What's that mean? I get to write it off at the end of the year against my business. I got other assets that are generating income. See, that I don't need to live in, I don't need to occupy. Because if I lived in it and occupied it, then it becomes a liability. You see what I'm saying? It's real simple, y'all. It's real simple. I got a lot of friends that have a poor man's mentality, and I've tried to tell them, yo, do this, do that, real simple. It's not hard, but they don't want to do the things necessary to put themselves in a better position. And guess what? I'm not going to beg them to. I'm not going to beg them to at all. All I can do is share, what I've done, share what I know. And, if they don't want to take that advice, hey, it's on them. Keep living in your miserable, debt-ridden, you know, high-stress lifestyle. Plain and simple. I can't make it no simpler than that. Form a corporation. Form your own corporate umbrella. Form trusts. Put your properties and your assets into trusts. Own nothing, control everything. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to explain to you how to do it. There are books you can get. You know, there's information all over the web that you can get on how to set up trusts, how to set up your corporate veil. I mean, the shit's at your fingertips. You don't need me to try to sell you no course, you know, or none of that bullshit. Just do the research yourself. Find out how to do it. It's really, really easy. That's all I can say about it. You know, that's all I can say. All right, so I'm about to go inside now because I got other shit to do. But it's always a pleasure talking with y'all. I will probably be back later on tonight from inside the studio. So until then, oh, by the way, if you haven't already, please follow. Hit me up, you know, here on YouTube, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Check out my website, www.crazybabytvworld.com. You see the shirt, you see it. I don't even sell these. Everybody's like, Ken, you ought to sell merchandise. I'm not. All right, till next time, I am out. Peace.